A shout out to Ge.Holla and
Hey, Ge.Holla, G.Holla.
Ge.Holla, show me the God here, man.
All y'all said entertainers, shout out my guy Ge.Holla.
Rocking right now with Ge.Holla.
Shout out to Ge.Holla reaching 1 million listeners on his podcast.
My biggest flex is Cool and Dre. You know, my entire project, every single track that's out right now has been done in the Cool and Dre camp with Cool and Dre right there side by side, to the point that Busta Rhymes thinks I'm a genius. Fat Joe put me on the first album, on the first track on his album. You know, that's like family. And these are legends that I grew up looking up to. Like my dad used to be on some lean back. Like, and I'm in the room with him and he's like, yo, Karma, I think you're fire. I need you to do exactly what you do. Right. I'm like, yeah, what's that? He's like, you know, be ratchet, right? I'm like, what you mean be ratchet? I'm like, I don't know how to do that. He's like, just forget everything you know about music, right? And just be ratchet. I'm like, so I was like, I bet. So, but it was the way that it happened. Because also as an artist, you need to realize there's a time and place for everything. Do not be like, oh my God, I'm in the room with Fat Joe right now. I need to show him all my music right now, and he need to make me famous. And no, there's a time and place for everything. How you conduct yourself, that first meeting, it will determine whether or not you ever end up in the room with them again. Whether or not they represent that they know you or not. When I first met Fat Joe, I got called into the studio to be ratchet. And it was a hook that he had pre-written. He's like, I want you to say this hook or whatever. And that's it. And basically he was telling me like, oh, you know, dismiss everything you know about music and just do what I'm telling you to do. Right? In my mind, I'm like, man, fuck that. Like, I'm trying to show you my music. I'm trying to rap for real. Like, what do you mean? It's like, just say what you wrote. The hell, you could have got anybody for that. But I had to humble myself and realize, no, I got you, Joe. I appreciate you even thinking of me to be here right now. So I laid it down. Boom. Probably like a week after that, they hit me up. Yo, Joe want to invite you to the Apollo Theater in New York. Right? They performing. I was on backstage. I was right there on the stage behind the DJ booth while him, Remy Ma, Lil Kim, Mary J. Blige, they all right there in front of me performing. I'm standing right there next to Cool and Dre. And you know what I was doing? Keeping my motherfucking mouth shut, right? Because I'm so grateful to be there. And it's like, I bet. In my mind, you also, all right, I was quiet. I'm quiet now. That does not mean you need to continue to be quiet, right? So then, boom, we get back. Apollo Theater performance was amazing, legendary as usual. So I get back to Miami. Dre calls me up, and Dre is like, "Yo, Karma, Joe want to put you on his album. He wants you to come in and do some work." I'm like, "Hey, Les, I'm on my way." So I pull up. Boom, we at the studio, and I get there. And Joe walks in. I'm like, all right, Joe, what we doing? You want me to spit some bars for you? Like, what we doing? At this point, it's all love. Like, we family, right? and he's like, yeah, no, I just need you to do some ad-libs. Let me tell you something. Rappers from New York, we do not know how to do ad-libs. We suck. we do not know how to do ad-lib. We don't. We just don't. So I'm like, damn. In my mind, I'm like, fuck. Of course he want me to do the one thing I struggle to do on my own music. I'm like, shit. All right. I was like, what you want me to say? And he goes in the mic and you know how Joe talk. He said, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah. I'm like, so I'm like, all right. So I try to replicate what he was doing. I'm like, boom, bitch. And I was so uncomfortable. And he's like, Karma, I just need you to be yourself. Be yourself. Like you in the Bronx. You with your family. You with your brothers outside. You talking shit. Just be yourself. I'm like, Joe, can I say suck my dick? He's like, absolutely. As soon as he said absolutely, it was done. Now I'm on the track. Yeah, which pop and this big motherfucker Fat Joe, not the fucking little one. Don't come on our block. And then I'm going crazy. Everybody who listens to his album right now, they're like, who's that little boy in the back talking shit? I'm like, not the little boy. But after that, so no, but the point of all of this, to tell you all of this, was to just to take into acknowledgement that there's a time and place for everything. So it took 4 different meetings before I got to what I actually wanted to do, which was show him my music and have the shot to be Karma Nova in front of a legend, right? Because I've already met him a few times and I had to keep my mouth shut because I had to just appreciate being in the presence of a legend. You got to be humble, bitch. Sit down. So that's what I did. Now, boom, I just turned 30 in September. So for my 30th birthday, thank you. For my 30th birthday, I called my engineer. I'm like, yo, I'm turning 30. What you doing? He's like, I'm at the studio over here at Cool and Dre's with Joe. I'm like, say word, I'm pulling up, right? And he's like, all right, he got a session. I'm still pulling up. I'm family at this point. 3 strikes, you out of here, right? So I'm family. I'm pulling up. I pull up fly. I got my Gucci bodysuit on, $8,000 bodysuit. I come decked out. Right, bing, walk in making a statement because sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. So I was like, I pop out, and Joe immediately, as soon as he saw me, it's all love. I'm vibing. I'm being the humble, quiet. I'm like, yeah, we vibe. I tell him it's my birthday at midnight, all of that, right? We vibing. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh, by the way, since it's my birthday at midnight, I get 3 wishes, right? And I say this in front of everybody, in front of all his people, in front of Cool and Dre. I'm like, I get 3 wishes, right? It's the least. And he's like, oh my God. All right, Karma, what you want? I'm like, all right, wish number 1. You got to take a shot with me at midnight. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna take a shot with you. As soon as he said okay, all of his boys was like, that's big, Karma, because this man don't drink. So that's big, right? I'm like, all right, cool, appreciate it. I'm like, where we lit. All right, number 2, wish number 2. I need you to hear all my music and tell me your honest opinion right now. Right now. He's like, all right, Karma, all right, bet. I'm gonna listen to your music. I got you. I was like, all right, bet. Plug me up to the aux. So boom, I was like, at wish number 3, I went into the studio for you twice, laid down a couple shits. You feel me? I feel like you owe me one, right? And he's like, no, I need a feature from you. And he's like, how about I just give you one? Because we worked on 2 songs. And he's like, the first song that originally first met you, that song didn't make it to the album. I'm gonna just give you that. You can have that. I'm like the whole thing? And he's like, the whole thing. So you feel me? I got a little Fat Joe feature track on the way, 2025. It's already done. He loved it. I had played it for him because I ran into him a couple more times at the studio after that. I played him what I worked on and he loved it. He's like, you reminded me of DMX. You reminded me of Lil' Kim, early Lil' Kim. He's like, I like this. I like it a lot. And that was a huge compliment for me. I'm like, dude, thank God, right? So, so now I get bragging rights. Now I'm like, I bet I'm damn near in the legendary lane. Yeah, he hit me up and he's like, pull up. I got Busta Rhymes coming to the studio, right? I'm like, word? Say less, I'm there. So I pull up, I'm there, and I'm like, I was there early. So me and my engineer, we started recording something. Tiffany Haddish walks into the studio session with Dre, right? So I'm like, oh shit. So as soon as she walked in, they shut down whatever the hell I was recording. I don't even remember what I was recording, but they shut it down and she started playing her shit, right? And like, I had to check myself because I'm like, no way you just shut me down to play your shit. Like, but then that's another moment. Humble yourself. Shut up when you're in the presence of a legend because you need to learn, you need to take what you can, and you need to leave a good impression. So No, but they were so sweet about it. Even Dre was like, "Yo, Karma, you don't mind." Even Tiffany was like, "Karma, I don't want to. You was doing something." I'm like, "No, no, no. It's all love. It's all good. I want to hear what you got." Like, I'm just so happy to be here right now. Busta wasn't even there yet, so I'm like, "All right." Then about an hour go by, Busta walks in. Super sweet guy. Says hi to everybody. Hey, walks in, says hi to me. He's like, "What up, Queen?" Give my little hand a little kiss and shit. I was like, "Ooh." I was like, "Yo, all right, cool." Cool was in the kitchen cooking some pasta. I was like, "Yo, this is crazy, right? I can't believe I'm here right now, right?" So we all sitting at the dinner table, and I'm real quiet, right? And I always got a lot to say, so I'm real quiet. I'm not saying much. I'm just like really grateful to be there. And we at the dinner table, me and Tiffany chopping it up. Busta Rhymes is eating. We all eating. Food is amazing. Cool could cook his ass off. So yeah, we all full. And you know it's pasta, so we extra full. So now one of my, he was like, I don't even know what to call him. He was like a manager in a sense, but he's like, "All right, so when we get back in the studio, we're gonna properly introduce you to Busta, and we're gonna play a track for him, right?" So I look at cool. I'm like, "Which track? Please tell me Heavenly Father." Right? He's like, "No, do that shit is the track that's gonna take you there. I'm telling you that." I'm like, "Oh my God." I was like, "It's not even ready. It's the first draft. It's not even ready." I was like, "Oh my God. All right, go ahead, show him." So we play it for him, and he like I have it all on video, so y'all know I'm not capping. I got the receipts. So so he vibing to it, and he's just nodding his head the whole time the track is playing, right? And then he said a couple words to me. He was like, "Yeah, no, that shit was hard. It was good." And it wasn't given, his reaction wasn't given what I thought it was gonna give. So in my head, I'm like, "Yo, he think I'm voodoo. Like he think I'm trash." So like, I can't believe this. So I'm like, I'm super discouraged. I'm like, unbelievable. So but I'm whatever, I'm humble, I'm staying quiet. I'm like, "I appreciate you for listening, whatever." He's like, "Yeah, nah, you already locked in, whatever you need." I'm like, "All right, he's like, "All right, one of my artists is about to pull up and work. I need her to finish whatever the fuck." So somebody else pulled up and took over the studio that we had to get out the studio. Busta Rhymes sit down in a chair. He started getting a haircut in the middle of the dining room table, right? And at this point, I'm a little lit. I'm a couple shots in. I'm like, "All right, no apologies." So I put a chair right next to him while he getting a haircut. And I'm like face to face for him. I'm like, "So what's good, Busta?" And he's like, "I ain't gonna lie to you, Karma. What you did with that track was genius." I'm like, "Word?" Because your reaction in there. Like, and he's like, "Nah." He's like, "Do you know what you did there?" He's like, "That's a Doodoo Brown beat. Nobody has been able to do anything with Doodoo Brown since Doodoo Brown came out." He's like, You did that shit. You really, really did that shit." He was like, "It was genius." He's like, "And I'm so excited to see where your career goes because you did that and you have my full support on your career." I'm like, like, "I bet, say less." So that's when we really started putting all the dollars and everything, all the marketing behind do that shit. Busta Rhymes really gave that stamp.